Today we're going to do a review of a tool I use all the time, one of the greatest tools I have in the shop, and that's my set of Quickjacks. This particular set is the Quickjack 7000. This will lift up like a full-size Suburban or even heavier than that. I like the Quickjacks so much that I've got a second set over here hanging on the wall. The ones on the wall are the Quickjack 5000. That has a 5,000 lifting pound capacity. And the reason I have those is because on cars with a smaller wheelbase, the 7000 sometimes don't fit between the wheels, so that just makes it easier on smaller cars. Your Quickjack will come with a couple of different lifting pads, smaller and larger, but you can also get a number of different accessories. I opted to get this higher lift truck accessory here, which you can actually modify for different heights like that. The Quickjack operates off a standard 120 volt 15 amp outlet like you would have in your regular home garage, and you want to make sure that you run it off of transmission fluid. You typically don't use hydraulic jack fluid for this. You'll actually fill it with transmission fluid. And the jack is just very simply controlled with this wired remote for up and down. The Quickjack will have two stop positions. One of them right about here at 12 inches. Lower the jack and we see that they settle in to these locking points right here. So the car is actually mechanically held up at a locking point and not just with the hydraulics. It also has a second stop at 28 inches high, which is pretty good. To lower your Quickjacks, you just raise up the vehicle a little bit and then lift your lock arms so the cam rests on the lock, and now it'll just slide right over that lock point and lower. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lift up this car here. We just slide right underneath to the jack points, right there and there. Same on the other side, and just push the button to lift it up. The resting height of the stands is just under 3 inches or so, so it's really good for low clearance vehicles like a Corvette or something. We're about ready to hit our first stop. There it is. We can lower the jack onto the stop and the car is secure. And the car is absolutely secure on there. No worries about going underneath the vehicle or anything like that. The other nice thing about this design is it gives you full access to the underside of the engine and transmission. We're going to go up to the second stop. And now we can lock onto our second stop. You can see this brings the vehicle up to a really decent height. If you have a little wheelie stool, this is a perfect height that you can sit down while doing tire changes or brakes or things like that, working on the suspension. Really nice sitting height at its maximum height. All right, again, to lower the vehicle, we need to just lift it up off of the stop. Just gently lift our locking arm and rest the cam on the stop so it'll slide right over it. You only have to do that once and we can lower the vehicle completely as the cams will just glide over the second stop by themselves. There goes the second stop and the vehicle is completely lowered. Setup is super simple on these things. If you're doing automotive work, you already have the tools and the know-how to set up your Quickjacks very easily. If you're still using a jack and jack stands, you need to give that up and get these Quickjacks, especially being able to change between heights during a job without readjusting your jack stands. This is such a huge time saver. It's so much easier on your back. Really a great tool. Check our video description for the link to our Amazon page where you can find the Quickjacks.